I'm LaToya Drake with the Nutrition Education Program. I'm an extension specialist for food access and equity, and I'm here at the Allen County Cooperative Extension Service office, and we're in their demonstration kitchen, and we're making our NCTC Plated Up Kentucky Proud Recipe of the Month. And this month we've got one of my favorites for you. It's our balsamic veggie pasta, because zucchini is coming in hot. It's about to be in season, or it's in season now, and it's gonna grow abundantly. And we wanna make sure that we're using it all up. It's a super tasty and easy vegetable. In addition to zucchini, you'll start to find regular yellow squash at the farmer's market. So we're gonna start to find all those good summer squashes at the farmer's market. So we wanna make sure that we use them up. And this is a great, simple and easy recipe to do so in. It calls for, let's just go over the recipe ingredients. It calls for 4 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 cloves or so of garlic minced. I use my good garlic because that's easy to just get it out of the refrigerator and get it together. But you can use fresh garlic, of course, and mince that. It calls for 1 small zucchini, 1 small yellow squash, chopped, 2 tomatoes chopped, half a cup of green onions chopped. And I chopped the green onions and I kept the whites separate from the greens, because I really like to cook with the whites because it's going to give it provide more flavor, right? But the greens are really flavorful and to use when they're raw. It adds some brightness to your final dish and some crunch. So we're going to add that to the end and give it some color and some brightness in that crunch, okay? So we've got our half a cup of green onions, we've got our salt, and we've got our pepper to taste. We've got some dried basil. We've got 8 ounces of whole wheat pasta. We've got some grated Parmesan. And that's the recipe. You can grill up some chicken to go with this. So let's get it started. So we're going to heat about a tablespoon of olive oil in the skillet. This skillet is super hot. And then we're going to add our onion. And let's get it back together. Add our onion and our garlic. And we're just gonna cook that until it's fragrant, until you smell it. You don't ever wanna overcook garlic, because it will burn, and you can smell that. So there that goes. It's a little fragrant. So you want to cook that up to a minute, depending on how hot your skillet is. Let's add our chopped zucchini. Let's add our chopped yellow squash. Let's give it a stir. Mix all those ingredients together. So, summer squash, which includes zucchini. It includes those yellow squash, yellow bottleneck squash, coquadel. It includes patty pan, those little round ones. No matter the type, you want to get the ones that are heavy for their size, right? And you want to make sure that there's no bruising or no damage to that squash when you pick them out. You want to make sure that you're avoiding those extra big squash, because those big squash are going to not be as tender. They're going to be actually kind of tough. You know, sometimes you'll see a squash in your garden and that squash will look like, oh, let me just leave it another day. You know what? You might want to just go ahead and pick it, because sometimes if you leave it another day, it'll explode overnight and be too tough for what you might want to do with it. But when that squash does get a little tough, those are great to use in your zucchini breads, right? To grate them up, or to use as a zoodle, right? To make them into a zucchini noodle, and use them that way. So we're giving a little color to our zucchini. Let's add a little salt to that. add a little pepper too. Give it a little color, to give it a little flavor. Add some fresh ground pepper. There we go. Smells real nice with the garlic and the onion. So super easy, lots of fresh veggies. Let's get our tomato added. It's gonna make a kind of sauce for us. There we go. So colorful. And like I said, this will pair great with a grilled piece of chicken, a grilled pork chop, some kind of lean meat. Maybe even some salmon would really be good actually with this. We want to make sure everything is heated thoroughly and tender. So we've added our chopped zucchini, our squash, tomatoes, green onions, and we're going to cook it until it's tender. Salt and pepper, we've got that going. Let's add a little bit more of the salt. All right. So a great way to use the abundance of fresh vegetables that will soon be here. We're going to let this cook for a little bit before we add our pasta. All right, y'all, so it says to get a large bowl and mix together like the ingredients for the seasoning kind of dressing situation. Because it's not really a dressing, but it is a dressing, it's a sauce, but not. When it combines with the tomato juice, it's kind of like a nice balsamic tomato sauce. We're just gonna avoid dirtying up a whole bunch of stuff because that's what we like to do. We wanna not waste. And we're gonna mix it together in this. It says 2 tablespoons or so, let me check, of balsamic vinegar. And then it says to use, let's see, 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And it says to mix that with the dried basil. So we're gonna do this like that. Since I made our pasta beforehand, I'm gonna add that to this sauce here and then add everything together here to not dirty up a whole bunch of things. But the recipe specifically says in a large bowl to do this and then to add the zucchini and squash all of the stuff into the bowl with the sauce and then to toss the pasta with the mixture. But we're gonna just do it our way. So we stirred that all together. I made this pasta this morning and thinking of food safety, I made sure to cool this down and put this on ice, right? Because I don't want to make anybody sick. We want to make sure that we're putting our things in the refrigerator within 2 hours of cooking them if we're not going to use them immediately, especially pasta, because pasta can get you sick. Let's get it heated back up. Turn this down. Let's add it to our vegetable mixture. And I've frequently done this for cooking demonstrations, just to make things go faster. When I cook that pasta and put it in that bag, I put a little olive oil in it to prevent it from sticking. And then I didn't cook it. I cooked it al dente, so I kept it firm. So check that out. Look how colorful, because I used that colorful pasta. This is gonna serve about 4 folks. And I might have used a bit much pasta, but it's gonna be fine. It'll serve about 4 folks, about 2 cup servings. And you know, squash is great because squash, like cucumber, is rich in water. and it's low in calories. So we can eat a lot of it and be really full, right? And really enjoy it. And I love that squash, you can not only cook it, but you can also eat it raw. So you can cut it real thin, slice it thin, dip it in some hummus, dip it in some homemade tzatziki, so like a Greek yogurt kind of dip with cucumbers. When cucumbers, you know, you want to get those cucumbers local, get all your foods local. And I love with local foods, we can somehow know where that food is coming and have more food, safe food, right? Because we know where it's coming from. So we've got our pasta added here. I've turned this heat down a little bit. Let's add the rest of our salt to taste. Give it some flavor. Let's add a bit more pepper. All right, so let's put this mixture in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn the heat off. And we're just gonna pour our mixture over. Get it all in there. And we'll mix it up. It smells delicious, y'all. So this is the balsamic veggie pasta recipe from the Plated Up Kentucky Proud recipe series. It features zucchini, which is in season now. We're gonna add our grated Parmesan. And stir that up too. Smells good. So this recipe is also budget friendly. So you can find it at Plated Up Kentucky Proud's website. And you can also find it at our website, our nutrition education program website, which is planeatmove.com. And you can find all of those budget friendly Plated Up Kentucky Proud recipes there. So just check that site out. You can also reach out to all of the 120 counties that the Cooperative Extension Service in Kentucky exists. You can call them up and you can ask for the balsamic veggie pasta recipe. You can stop by the office in your Kentucky county, and you can reach out to Barry when NCTC. His email address is barry.hyatt@nctcstaff.com. So just find this recipe however you can and check it out because it's really good. And I encourage you to Plate It Up Kentucky Proud. I appreciate you watching today, and join us next month for our recipe of the month.